Welcome all you Earth signs to your weekly energy update, and this of course is for all my Taurians, my Virgos, my Capricorns, no matter where it is at in your chart. We're going to be looking at the week of February 27th to March 6th, and yeah, I can't believe it is the month of March coming up already. But these videos are also timeless, so if you're coming across these outside of that time frame, I'd still watch it, because obviously if your intuition brought you here, there are messages for you. But if you are watching this during that time frame, we have the March 2nd Pisces new moon that is coming around as well. And I just posted videos yesterday for each of the zodiac signs for that. I'll have the playlist at the end of the video here somewhere at the end. So if you want to check those out to see what other energy comes in for you that week, then you can look at those. But for this week, we're going to start off by pulling a card here from the Archeo personal archetype cards. And we're just going to see what message the Creator wants to give you just generally for this entire week for all of you Earth signs. So one more time here. All right, so for our Earth signs, what would you like them to know, please? Okay, looks like you get two of those here. And your first one is Sage. Beautiful card there. Let's put that right here. Move this out of the way. There we go. And then also, you've got the Green Man, which is a very beautiful card. I love that one too. And we'll put those here. And then we're just going to take a look here and see what each of these brings in for you. So we got the Green Man first. And so the Green Man is a steward to all that grows in Earth, which is interesting. So the steward, you know, like the overseer, the watcher, and the sage can be the teacher student as well. So kind of overseeingness seems to be a theme. Part vegetation himself, he's attached to the roots and arteries that join all living things. Yet he roams about the land freely. He's a green shadow on the edge of your peripheral vision, insisting that you respect Earth. If you acknowledge his presence, he'll diminish the sense of isolation that has dogged humankind since we declared ourselves outside and above nature. And I'm just going to read the little intro here. And it's amazing because you being Earth signs, this is all about connecting to that groundedness, connecting to nature. And so it is a part of your energy that is so important for you to connect to. So this is a call to get out into nature, even if it's out into your backyard, touch a tree, you know, do some gardening and start preparing your garden. Get out and touch the earth somehow. And so during this week, this is the call on that for you. And then let's look at the sage. Yeah, the sage sits quietly by your side, reminding you to stay centered. His wisdom has come down through the ages, and his counsel is balanced and reliable. He has no material agenda, and unlike those priests who cloak themselves in worldly wealth, he requires no supplication, nor does he demand an adherence to a tablet of commandments. He sees no reason to regret or blame. And I love that it talked about here about staying centered, because that is all this energy and this grounding, this earth energy. You have such a strong power to balance yourself and to be grounded no matter what's going on around you. But there is this extra call here for you to do that during this coming week, especially with this new moon in Pisces energy that's coming in. It can be emotional, of course, because Pisces is such a beautiful emotional being. It takes us into some great places in our emotions, but grounding is definitely being called for here. We're also going to pull from these elemental oracle and just see what other message the Creator has for you. All right. So for our earth signs, what else would you like them to know? Okay, I want that one right there. And you've got building atoms. Beautiful card there, and we're just going to put that right here. Just try to have these a little organized there. All right. That's card number 40, which when you add 4 plus 0 together, you get 4, which a 4 is a very solid, strong foundational number. Think of like a table with 4 strong legs on it. It's a very solid foundation. This says everything is connected by the same building blocks of matter. And that was amazing because this talked about being everything is connected as well. You are electric and vibrating in motion. Being stagnant in your beliefs and growth is unnatural. Building and changing is natural. There is room for infinite variety. So I really feel with that, I'm not going to read the entire thing there for you either, but I love that because it talks about this growth and that things are ever changing, and that's what nature is too. And so when you're getting out to nature, this full foundation and this strong earth energy that you're getting is really just emphasizing to you that there is a season for everything, right? You have 3 months of spring, 3 months of summer, and 3 months of autumn, and 3 months of winter. Everything has its purpose, one for planting and starting to grow, and summer for huge growth, and fall and autumn for harvest when the fruit is ready to bear and things start to fall off of the bushes and trees, and winters when everything deteriorates and gets down there and into the ground to have this beautiful fertile ground for spring again. And so there is this process of looking at life, and that everything is connected, that every ending of a season is the new beginning of another. And I really feel like that's being reiterated throughout all these cards here. We're also going to pull here from the Sun and Moon Tarot to see what else Creator wants you to know. Oops. Let's try that again. There we go. One more time. All right, so what else for our earth signs, please? Okay, I went to those two and that one. Okay. So your first one is the Wheel of Fortune, which is card number 10. This is about all the endings and new beginnings and the switching of the wheel, right? The change of the seasons, the change of things that happen in your life. So this is kind of letting you know there's this forecast of some things significantly ending in your life, making room and preparing you for the new beginnings. And, you know, like the ending of this season brings the new season, the ending of something brings the newness. But there's this wonderful story that Spirit gave me around this card, which is before we came down here, our higher self chose what it wanted to experience when it came down here. You know, it was like, this is when I'm going to come down to this dream, and this is when I'm going to leave it. And here's the avatar that's going to represent me here, you know, this human self, this human character. And here's all these fated events that I want to experience while I'm here, so that in experiencing them, I understand myself more. Experiencing a lot of opposites of who I am, I understand more fully who I really am. And so these fated events and this knowledge that comes with this is that we're not on this out of control drama train that's going to leap off the tracks and blow up in, you know, a gorge somewhere. It brings us this calmness, this groundedness, knowing that everything happens on purpose for a purpose for us. And we move out of this victim mode into this victor mode, knowing that things don't happen to us, they happen for us. And so as these changes come, as these seasons go, as all the gears and everything changes along our path, it is unfolding for us. So when something ends in our life, it's not like, oh no, it's happening to me, I'm being punished. It's like, no, we can start to develop this trust and this groundedness that no matter what happens, it happens for our adventure. What's great though too is that within each one of those fated events, we still hold the power of choice, our free will, and we get to choose what story we apply to each of those fated events. We get to choose what emotion we want to feel as we go through each of those events. And it's beautiful because one of the big things about that is that one, we may not feel like it's a choice, because we have been conditioned so much that when one thing happens, this is what it means. When something happens, this is how I'm supposed to feel. And we were conditioned and it was reinforced. And so repetition, it became our habit and it became our reaction in life. So when something happens, we just, boom, feel that this is what it means. This happens, boom, this is how we feel we're supposed to feel. But if we really were able to slow down time, and where we could really, like by millisecond, look into our brain, we could see like, oh, this is when that choice was made. And if we pause our life and take a deep breath, we can realize that we can apply a different story to an event that we always applied an old story to, and we can apply a new feeling to an event instead of the old feeling that we've been regurgitating over and over time. So we have this power that comes in, and it brings in this beautiful, this calmness about the future too, because when we don't know, when we feel out of control, like on that drama train where when something happens, this is how I have to feel, this is how I have to believe it means about me, and whatever story I apply to the world, yeah, you are scared of the future because you don't know what's coming around the next corner. But when we understand that we are the ones that get to make the choice, we don't care what comes anymore. At least we care less about what happens, because we know that whatever comes our way, I get to choose what it means. I get to choose how I'm going to feel. So there's nothing that I really need to fear, because I'm going to control that. Finally, I get control. Let's see what comes next here. Yeah, we have the King of Cups. Beautiful full moon there. Cups are our emotions, and the King of Cups is the ruler of your emotions. It's showing that you actually get to be in charge of that. The king here, try not to have a glare in there we go. He's holding that little Ace of Cups there. What's within that Ace of Cups? That's the Holy Grail. That's the chalice. The living waters are what are flowing and being held within that. And the living waters is the unconditional love, the highest love possible that we could feel. It is what is being offered to you. It is available to you. And so there's this groundedness that comes in with that, and this knowledge as you realize, it really makes sense when you have this belief here and this understanding that everything unfolds for you. It's for your benefit. You're like, yes, because I am unconditionally loved by the Creator of all things, and that entire posse of beings of unconditional love and light on the other side. You are supported. You have this solid foundation in how much you're loved. And so this is the messages that are coming for you this coming week. It's very grounding, right? Yeah, because here you have the Hierophant, which is card number 5. And the Hierophant is about like a spiritual leader. It is moving to this next level and having this information that comes. 5s are really about this transformation, this movement in your beliefs, going to like the next level in your spirituality and understanding things, which makes sense with all these truths that are coming in for you. It is this very grounding place, and it's like, you get to sit under, the little tree and connect to nature. I love that they're showing this is out in nature, because it was this call to be out in nature. You get to get out there and sit, kind of like, I think that's supposed to be like a Buddha. See the little baby Buddha? I don't know if you can see it in the little star in his shirt here, but it is about this birthing and going to this next level and this understanding of those things. We're also going to pull a couple of cards here from this dark tarot, or black tarot, I'm sorry. And this just represents the messages from your shadow, which our shadow is our friend. It's our little tour guide on our beautiful journey here. And it knows all the subconscious things, all the things that are swimming around under the surface that we may not be aware of. It's those computer programs that have been, minimized, and so they're still impacting us. They're just not in our face. So there's some truths that our shadow can bring. So, shadow, what would you like? Okay, I feel like it was this top one too here. So you get 2 cards from your shadow, and the first one is the Emperor. Yeah, so the Emperor comes right before the Hierophant here. And so there is this message that they're letting us know about. Both the Hierophant and the Emperor have 2 sides of themselves. One is the loving Emperor, the loving spiritual leader. And when you have this unconditional love that's flowing, everything that the Emperor and the spiritual leader does isn't for themselves. They are so full of love and overflowing that they are looking for their congregation, their kingdoms, their followers, that they want them to be successful. They want them to have the highest life possible, one full of love and success. And so all the rules they create, all their actions are based on unconditional love. But when the human side kicks in, when our little small child in us feels unsafe, feels out of control, then it wants to gain control, wants to maintain its control, get more, and maybe even take other people's control. And so the Emperor transforms into a dictator. The Hierophant, the spiritual leader, transforms into a cult leader, and has that darker energy of control that's all rooted in fear. And so there is this awareness that's coming from your shadow here, that what they want you to know about is those 2 sides. And as you ground yourself and get out into nature, get away from all that societal stuff, because the Emperor is all about the society and the Hierophant is all about spiritual organization too. It's like, get out of that and get out into nature, get away from it all, and it helps you connect and get away from all that feeling out of control. Because when you fill up with that love, then you feel you have this wholeness and this completeness, and you don't turn into that tyrant. And then the final, you got the World. So beautiful card there. And that represents, the World is the final card in the major arcana, which does represent significant endings to cycles and new beginnings. So you do have that throughout each of your areas here. I mean, you totally had endings and new beginnings here, endings and new beginnings, endings and new beginnings. So you do have this transformation that is coming, this transformation, this changing of seasons that's happening in your life, but nothing to fear. They were giving you all these cards to help you understand that no matter what happens this coming week, that if before you thought this, you had this story of that it was supposed to mean something horrible, and you were supposed to feel horrible about it, that it's happening for you, so you can actually celebrate it if you so choose. If you want to, there's no judgment. If you want to experience that same story and those same, fearful emotions, then do it. There's no harm in any emotion that we feel. It's just a matter of what do you want to do, and realizing your power. And maybe you feel it, and you feel that way, and then you realize in the middle of it, wait a minute, I don't want to feel this way anymore, and you make this change. Or maybe it's afterward, and you're like, you know what? I don't like feeling that way, and next time I'm going to do it differently, and maybe you do. So there's this beautiful empowerment that comes with this message for you this week, and I'm very happy for this groundedness and this call to nature for you too. All right, well, we're going to leave the reading at that. Our signs, I want to let you know, in addition to these weekly energy updates, I also do monthly readings for each zodiac sign. And as I mentioned, I do new moon and full moon readings, which I'll have those at the end of the video here. in just a moment. And I also do a variety of other videos. So if you don't want to miss out on any of those and be notified immediately when they become available, if you give this video a little thumbs up and click that like button, then also click the subscribe button. That'll give you access to this notification bell. And when you go in there in that notification bell, then you can select all, and then you'll be notified of any new videos that come out. And doing that also helps spread the love, because when you like a video, you share a video, you comment on a video, or you subscribe to someone's channel, the YouTube algorithm gets so happy and joyful that it wants to share videos on that channel with other people as well. So if you feel so inspired to do any of that, of course, I am very grateful for that. Also, these are general readings. If you want to have more specific information for your life, I do offer personal readings, and that information is in the description box below as well. All my earth signs, I just want to let you know that every second of every day, you are unconditionally loved by the Creator of all things. And of course, I love you too. So have an amazing week. I'm sure I'll be talking to you very soon. And until then, you take care.